Hello, Odd Job Doer here, and today what we're going to do is continue on with the home theater renovation, and also this here's going to be with a lamp change out. So, the idea of having a fan light in a room is nice, especially if you can, have it. Now, if you already have a fan light combo like this one here in a room, you're probably safe to say you can replace that with another model. If you don't, if you just have a light fixture up there, then chances are you need to go up in the ceiling and check it out to see if it has a bracket that can actually hold on to this part up here. So it has the extra weight and it's not just for a light. Now this one here is controlled by one switch on the wall, and you can see it starts spinning because the pull chain for the fan, which is right here, that there controls the speed of the fan, and the other side controls the lights on and off. There's probably, maybe 2 bulbs in there. I'll figure that out later. And so, with this video, what we're going to do is, first I'm going to kill the power at the breaker box to make sure it's all safe. And then we will commence with dropping this light down. Now, in the middle of dropping this light down, there might be a good chance that all of this color here you see, the white, the blue walls, the trim, if there's any trim, all that's going to change to be more home theater-like. And you can probably also tell maybe that there's a bit of an echo going on. That's because we already got the carpet torn up, and that's going to be another video on the carpet and flooring. But I'm doing a video here on the fan. Just in general, if you have a fan like this, you want to swap them out, that's good. But what's going to be replacing this is something that's going to be lower profile, so it sticks up close to the ceiling, and it's going to be remote control. So we'll leave the wall switch on, probably with a guard, and the remote control just be used to turn on and off the blades and the speed and the brights. And all the ones that come with remote controls nowadays are dimmable. So we'll have that feature to control the brightness in here, which more than likely when watching a movie, they're going to have like, let me see here, dark. Most people have movies in the dark. But if you have kids or if you want to be able to see what you're eating, snacks, foods, whatever, you might just have the lights dimmed down. So anyways, this fixture is going to go. I think it's an older fixture. It matches a lot of the other ones in the house, so it's probably been here originally. And it still works, so maybe it'll be resold or something. And yeah, so the ceiling, now back to movie ideas. The ceiling is white. White is reflective usually. And if you really could, you'd want to use a flat paint for the room for the movie. But that's going to be a little bit too dark and too flat. So what they've picked out is a different color scheme, which is darker, and it's going to be a 2-tone paint scheme. So it's going to be actually darker on the walls, I think, and it's still going to be lighter on the ceiling, but you'll see. Because the next part of this video, well, the next part will actually be taking this down here, which what we need to do is more than likely kill the power at the circuit breaker, and then we'll tear into this fan. Another word of caution is that sometimes these fans are controlled with like 2 switches on the wall, which this one's not, it just has 1. And in another room in this place I found where you turn the light on the wall, the light on the fan comes on, but when you pull the fan cord, then that comes on. Then you turn the switch off at the wall, guess what? The light goes out, but the fan stays on. So eventually, maybe I'll have a better look at that to see what's going on. But for right now, this here's like a standard install, and we'll make it better. And yeah. Also, well, I'll get to killing the power, and we'll get back with taking this old fan down. Alright, so we got the little sniffer here, circuit breaker finder, right? So we got that part, we got this part here, and I'll go downstairs and see if I can find the circuit breaker and turn it off. Okay, so you see now maybe the indicator light is off on the bottom there, as well as the fan has stopped moving. And so this is off. I will get some tools and remove that, take that off, and set up a ladder. We'll be right back. Okay, because I'm not going to be using this fan again here, I'm going to go ahead and take off the blade. So we've got a number 2 screwdriver, and I believe this just has 2 screws that hold it on. So there's one screw, and we'll get the other one here. Screw in one hand, blade in the other. And just take it down, like so. And voila, now you can see if there's dust on top, which there's a little bit. And so I just repeat that task for the other 3 blades. Alright, so here's a fun fact. We got these paddles off here, you can whack people with them. And one thing I like to point out is usually on these fans, if you've never noticed this before, you got one side like this, and the other side is dusty. Besides that, I'm not too sure about this one, but besides the dust here, yeah, there's usually a different color. So one side could be like this brown color, and one can be dusty, or oak. And all you gotta do is, you usually don't have to take them off with these screws that mount onto the base, but you have to take these 3 screws off here, and then there's a rubber grommet in these, and just flip them over and put the screws back through, right? Number 2 Phillips. And you have a different style to your fan, or room, whatever. Anyways, maybe that's not that kind of a fact, but yeah, you can reverse a lot of them. Okay, back to the project. Alright, next up is that little crown up there that's up touching the ceiling just about. And so, with our friendly number 2 screwdriver, come up here and there's probably 3 screws that hold this on. And I'm going to loosen them up, not take them out, just back them out. And I'll back up some over here, back side, and one more around this side here. Okay, so with those kind of backed out, now this thing here will lift up and turn. Other ones might not. They might just back out and this thing will come down. So lift up, turn, drop it down. Here we have a hook on the fixture, which we can hook that to. Yeah. And we've got our wires. So wires that are stuck up here, we've got we have 2 black ones that went to a white wire that wasn't twisted good together. We have a brown that's twisted together. And there should be another white to a white. Very interesting. And I see a cap up there, and these 2 blacks here go to the fixture. One's a black white, one's a black, so the person between the fan and the light. But having the wire here be white, I'll have to check that out. But over here, let's see, we've got green on the ground. They just put together with no nut unless the nut fell off. The last one is this white one here. Common to common, but who knows. Take it off. All wires are done. Lift this thing off the hook carefully. And that almost removes it all. Bring this down the ground. And let's see here. Now let's start with that plate up there. Alright, so then we have this plate up here. And all we have to do here is take off, looks like 2 screws. One right on this side here, and one on the other side. there. There. A little gummy on that one. And of course, watch your eyes, make sure it doesn't fall off this thing and lands in your eye. And that'll make for a boring day. Alright. As you can see, I skillfully avoided that. I'm just going to mess on the floor. Okay, so we have this here down. And, Alright, so we got that thing taken down, and what we'll do now is I'll just check out some of the electricity up in there to make sure everything's copacetic. I can see there's a loose cap hanging there, right? And there's a black one there nudged to something else. And so I just test everything out with a tester, make sure it's all good. Normally what I like to say, I think, is a right, so we're back, and you can see now it's a little bit different up there. And we figured out that the white in the middle there is actually a power coming from the switch. And so the blacks are tied together. And yeah, it should work out. So, the fan now. What we have here to install is this thing down here. And what we're going to do is install it with a low clearance. Not to say that there's not enough ceiling height here, but this particular model also came with a little box, so it's all remote controlled. So I start with this thing here, and this is actually up like that. So you just pop this part off here, and then you got this part here. And you take this screw here and loosen it, and you see a little J marker on it. And you take this screw here and you take it out. Number 2 Phillips, right? And then the other side, same thing. There's one that you will loosen and one that you will take out and keep. And you keep those screws somewhere safe. Then, after you get that separated, we'll take the bottom part. If you were just using the, say, twist and separate. So if you're just using the extension rod, or if you had to get a longer extension rod, if you have like a curved roof, an angled roof, something that's slant, you might have to have an extension rod that comes from here down more. Otherwise, this is where the normal extension rod would go into. It's about 5 inches or so. So I'll keep this for later. And we have this part here now. This part here, this decorative ring, we pop that out. So let's see here, we turn it. I think just pop it out. Turn it, pop it out, turn it. Okay, I think you turn it. Like so. And then you pop it out. Alright, so the ring's removed here. This here you won't need for the close proximity to the ceiling. So take care of that. And now on the head unit down there, we're going to actually mount this to it. So, zoom in on that. Alright, so on that there, we remove every other screw that's coming off from the top there. So take that off. This one here off. When you take them off, make sure they don't fall in the grease of the fan. They should also have a washer on them. So 1, 2, casing's a little bit cross-threaded from the manufacturer, but we got it. So then, what we're using here is this again, and we have this little piece here that comes with the kit, right? So the big holes of this is where the or screws that are still left in there will go through the big holes, and these here will go with the screws just got out. So we'll put this on here, drop this on next, and re-put the screws through the small holes. Pulling the wire up through the middle. Don't be pinching the wire off. Make sure I'm back on camera here. Okay, so there is a pin in there. Let's see. There we go. Okay, down like that. And we'll put the screws back in. And when we put those screws in, make sure you get them tight. Right, there's a little lock washer on it. You see that? Of course not. A little lock washer there, and tighten it down nice and snug on the top of that. So let me finish the last two, and we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so the next step is to take that bracket that we removed from the beginning of the last step and secure it to the ceiling box. Now, word of caution, if you have a ceiling box that's just there with a normal light, you might have to climb up in the attic first to make sure it can hold such weight. Now, we already have a fan up here, so we don't have to worry about that now, hopefully. And I don't know if you can see here, but with this little hook, later that's going to be important. We also have grounding. And up here we have, this is the hot, this is pretend to be neutral. Actually, I think it's black can be neutral. And there is a ground up in there. Yes, it's tied off to the top that I think I'll bring down. Even though this is grounded through the, technically, if I screw this to the top there, this is going to be grounded through to the box. The box is metal, and the screws are metal. And they're all happy. Let me fish that electric down. Alright, check out that ground, moved it a little bit. So it's actually attached to the box and there's a little bit coming out that I can attach the wire to. Now then we're back to this here. We say just use the screws provided with your outlet box. That's what we have, something like that, see? So there's a groove down the bottom, goes up through there. The padding on the other side here is to go up against the ceiling, and just simply, drive it home. keeping these wires here in the middle. So this one, and get the other one started here. And of course you could, move this bracket up to the left and right to kind of center it up over the spot. Cover up where the old light used to be. And you make it tight. Not so tight that you crack your drywall, or whatever kind of stone material you have. And you also want to keep it, level. Alright. Put the ground there. Put this wire back in the middle. And just have the hook right there. I'll just give it a little pull. Okay. And we're ready for the next step. Alright, next step. So we got the bracket up there, and it should be pretty snug, pretty tight. Don't crack your drywall ceiling, but make sure it's all tight up there. And then remember, I don't know if you can see it, but up right here you got that little pointer. Well, it's time to put that to good use. So that little pointer is going to hook to, you grab your fan here, like this with one hand, right? And it's going to hook to a top hole here. See right there? No, you don't. See right there? That top hole? We're going to hook it on there. And I believe you hook it from the inside out. So let me get back up there. And if you have the other one, the one with the pole where it hang down, well, the pole has a little ball thing to it. It sits right in this notch over here. So you hang by that. Otherwise, this one here comes up and hangs like so. I said it comes up and hangs like so. Alright. Now then, so you can see what's going on. But to start with, we have that. Yes. That right there is the remote control. Now, I'm a little bit surprised, but this fan here it's basically like you buy the fan that has no switches in it, no chink chink, chain link switches, ball chain switches, I guess. Instead, it has a remote control, looks something like this. This is actually one close to one I've done to another house. You install it, and you have an off switch, you have high, medium, low, and you have light. And if memory serves me right, it also has this part here. This part mounts to a wall. Bloop. And that's just, when you're store it, you store like that. So we've done that mounting thing later. But this thing here, when it's working, you push, like tap it on, tap it off. Not tap tap, but push. And then if you push and hold it, it should actually dim and brighten the light. Now the fan on the other hand, you got low, medium, high, and off. And off is just for the fan. Now this thing here, one thing I don't like so far, is this battery, right? This here is a, what is it called? 23A, 12 volt battery. Just like your car, 12 volts. And I don't know, I guess those are available. They're not, you know, with AAA, which would be much nicer. But also in here, do you see that? Right above my thumb, there's these 3 little dip switches. And right now I think they're all set to on. And what you gotta do is you match these switches up with the controller thing. See, you've got the controller here, and you can see right in there. See that? Switch is right. Not too close. Anyway, so you got the switches in there. So you match it. What I'm going to do, and don't tell anyone, I'm going to put this so only number 4 is on. And I'm going to do the same for the remote control here. See? So get something in there that could fit. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the other 3. I got something else there. So turn them down, have number 4 on, and now I'm going to go to the other fans in this house and make sure they're not on the same wavelength. If they are, I have to switch it up. So I'm going to go test this out and be back. All right, so the secret code is 4. So I just take a little screwdriver here, reach in here, and knock down. So I can get 1, 2, 3. Boom, 1 swipe. So 4 is on. 4 is also on the remote control. And what we'll do with this remote control here is we have some wiring. We have antenna wire right there, we just haven't extended. We have this white and black here. So this black goes to the hot coming out from your house up there, and the white goes to the neutral. And then you have this black here goes to your motor, which is actually, if you look at that, this particular fan, I'm not too sure why, maybe it's the company, but you can see there the wires that are coming up from, coming down from way up there, come down, 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 all the way down there. If I stretch them out, they're even further. But that's a lot extra wire. Normally I don't get that much to play with, so I'll be chopping some of that off. And of these wires here, the black goes to this black. The white goes to this white, and guess what? The blue goes to this blue, which is a little weird. It does say on it 4 lights. I could have sworn blue's for the fan, but maybe not. I mean, the fan takes more juice than the lights anyway, so there we go. So, and then the ground. No ground on this thing, you see, but up at the top, there is a ground that comes off the fixture. That green one right there. Actually, it's mounted onto the bracket that goes to the ceiling. And I will double check to make sure there's not a ground up there. But what they're saying basically is your body there, body, right there, boink, is grounding by being hooked up to that bracket, and then that ground is going to be, I'm actually going to tie it to the ground in the ceiling. So let me reposition, and I'll get to work. All right, so in position here, and I will start by taking this thing here up to the top. Now this area is mounted with the flat side here up against the ceiling. And actually it goes right in this box. But before I put in the box, I want to do a few little wire connections first. So first thing to go will be all this wire hanging down. That means this much wire. We'll go about 8 inches out and cut them off. Save that for later use. And then, of course, after you do that, you gotta strip them. This handy tool has strippers on it. And now the wire nuts they come with are like this here, little tiny things. So you don't have to strip a whole bunch of it. And you just kind of feed it through. The right gauge helps. It'll turn into pull. Maybe one more down. Turn and pull. There we go. Then what I can do, you see before I take these wires and you just kind of twist them. You twist these strands to be just solid. There. And continue. That's good. Alright. Now, if memory serves me right, the one up here, we have two whites coming down. The one closest to me now, since I'm on the other side, is going to be the hot. So I will do the one wire from the remote control box to it. Let's see here. Double check here. Turn off, good. And seems that is a bit on the longer side. It too will need to get snipped down some. Make sure it falls on the ground somewhere, not inside the fan. Now you probably can't see this, but you're basically matching the wires up to each other, twisting them together, like so, and then twisting on the wire nut. And how much you twist it on? That's nice and tight. And you give them all a pull, make sure they don't want to fall out or anything like that. Alright, we got a ground here. So I can twist that to one player. Tight fixture coming down. That one would probably have to go around back for us here. Alright, I think we're real safe. So, let me back this wiring and I'll be back. Alright, now time to mount it. If you remember where you took the screws out from step 1, this wouldn't take so long to find them. So, you have the wire all connected up here, you have your box up in place. Go ahead and tuck your wires into your housing here, make sure it's tucked in good. Little wire management. Okay, then you'll simply unhook this from the hook, the fan base, and you put it on these screws up here, the two that are with the housing. Oops. So a little something like this. Making sure everything's staying in there. One side, two side, and you will rotate. Weird. Maybe there's a wire stuck somewhere. You see anything on the back? Because I sure can't. There's binding against the ceiling. Let's see here. You do have to lift it up quite a bit, especially when it's flush against the ceiling like this. And give it a nice little turn. Let's see here. Now if you want to back up the screw on one side, pretty much all the way. And I'll try there. So I got one in, 4 more to go. And yep, you don't want to drop these in your fan top either, that's for sure. Alright. Got that all tight there. Snug this one here down, making sure you also have the washers. Okay, and we're ready to put the rest on it. I do say don't walk away from it when you're putting these up here, because it could just fall down. And you don't have to go buy another one, now do you? This one goes way back over here. Let's see. So now I've got 3 in so far. 2.5 actually. We should want to bind the threads. And let's see, get one more here. And yeah, working stuff like this is going a little bit tough. I do make screws for this little offset ones, but I don't have time for that. And snug. And one more, I think I'm going to change position on of the ladder. Alright folks, let me tell you. So I have installed fans with this here before. It hangs down, right? And now I have almost installed a fan that's flush to the ceiling. And flush to the ceiling is so much harder. And now we have this part here, the finishing ring. So this here just kind of goes up and covers up those screws and snaps into, it should snap in this top ring. To give you a finished look to your product. Alright, let's finish on this side at least. So, now I know a guy who forgot to put this ring on. He had this thing up here, he did the wiring, and he forgot to add this before doing the wiring, so he had to undo the wires and lift this down, put this ring over it, and then put it all back together. And let me tell you, that guy was upset and sweaty. And ready to go to the next step now. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad up there, I guess, on this angle too. All right, now somewhere in here, they have these packing mounts in this fan. They look like this here. See, it's like a little rubber grommet thing, gasket, and that was going up in there, protecting something. That we don't need anymore. Instead, what we'll need is you'll take a fan blade and place it right up through that slot. See, from the outside here, going in, and you can see there's 3 holes. In said 3 holes, you're gonna have the fan blade first, then you're gonna have this here armor bracket, you see, piece of metal, and to hold that on, you'll have 3 of these here. These screws with the little fiber washer already. They're from this sack here, okay? So now, I'm going to try to show this once and see if we can get it. Because nobody wants to see me attach all 4 blades. So I'm going to zoom in there, like so. Then I'm going to try to center it, like that. And now, I'm going to get to work. So, screws, fan blade, parts. And they're right. See, fan blade. And kind of comes in like so. And you can kind of rest it there while you grab the screwdriver and your piece of armor there. Oh, there we go, see the picture. So it goes like this. The armor, screw comes up underneath it. I'm going to stick this screw on it. Goes through the middle hole. And you thread it in. Kind of like so. But before you tighten it, like with most assemblies like this, I like to get other ones. That's why we have 3 of them. I like to get other ones started first. So same thing. Get started. And be glad you have a whole sack full of them up here. And grab another one. And it goes. Let it down nicely. And repeat said step 3 more times. Right? Alright. But I don't want you laughing at how many times I drop screws, so we'll be back to the next step after that. There, nice. And guess what, everybody? Don't tell them, but look at this here. I got an extra one of those screws with the fiber washers on it. That's how I make my extra. So, now what we have here is a fan, but now we want a fan with the light combo. So, zoom in here, and you can see there's 3 screws right there, giant finger. You know, take one of them out and loosen the other 2 to put up the mounting plate. And then what you're gonna do then is put this up there. So and let's see here, I'll take this one out. And loosen these. While we're up here, this little bag you can see, that's gotta go. It's just protecting the wires underneath it, and it's time for them to be released from their captivity. Okay, so that put down there. Meanwhile, this right here, the plate, you notice there's screws already in it. And what you're going to do is there's also holes, two slotted here and 1 knot. So this goes with the wire in the middle, and this plate goes over the screws that are there. Give it a twist, and you should be able to put the screw you took out back in, thus locking that plate in position. Snug it down tightly, and do the other 2. Now there, it's time for the light. This fixture doesn't take a light bulb. It has one of those LED things, which I guess are all these little bitty tiny things. I didn't even see them there, but little bitty. So same thing though. You're going to take one of these screws out from this plate, pull and remove it, loosen 2 others, like so, and then the connection. So, you have this plug here, and you have this plug here. Now don't just go plug it in anything, even though it doesn't matter probably, but you got a black wire on one side, and a black wire on the other side, so make sure they're matched up, as well as the white wires on the other sides. There. Done nicely. And then twist it around till you find out which way they go. And there. Put it back in, give it a twist. Put your screws you took out up through the bottom here and into that plate, which you can kind of see if you look at it from the side of here. Alright, so we'll tighten that up. Nice and snug, as well as the other 2. Okay. And last but not least, I believe, on this is your light cover, the dome. They put it somewhere else because, guess what? This thing here is glass. Yeah. So throw that protectant. This has like a notch built into the glass here, and there's little divots or bumps up here. So you match it and you give it a twist. And that's it. You don't tighten it up too much, you just twist it down. Now for the good part, we're going to try this thing out. So we'll step back here and run downstairs and hit that breaker switch. We're back to the testing. So I flipped the switch over on the wall, so it's on the on position. And we got this here controller. And with the light. So we'll push the button. Alright, turns on, right? Push again, turns off. Hit the low. Right, hit the medium. And we'll hit the high button. Okay. And yes, it's blowing the right way. And for the most part, this is it. We've got a fan, we're going to install, replace the other one. Mainly because, like I said, this is going to be a little home theater thing. And so what we're having here is something that's going to be taller. So if people were to sit underneath it or walk underneath it, kind of how this room's going to end up being laid out, it's not going to hit people in the head. Like the old one, you remember, it hung down to here, right? So people would hit their head on stuff like that. Let's see, what else we got here? With the light again. We turn it on, and we'll just kind of test it out here with the whole push and hold method. So it's on, I'm pushing and holding, and look at that. It gets dimmer. I don't know if that's about as dim as it gets, but yeah, it seems like it's getting brighter now. Right, bright. And is it getting dimmer again? Yeah, so you can just hold it, it's going to cycle. So that might be about as dim as it gets. You know, it's still daytime, so it's kind of hard to tell. Turn the fan part off, push the off button. And so I'll stop down. There is a part about, let's see, there's a switch on top. Maybe we should talk about that. There's a switch right up in here somewhere, and if you flip it, that makes your fan blades go around the other way, which in the wintertime, if you have a heater on, that helps dissipate your heat better than just the blowers. Otherwise, yeah, so this here is a video on swapping out a fan with another fan, and it's also on home theater stuff. Sure, because you know, you probably wouldn't mind having a fan in there to keep you cool and watching a movie, and having a dimmable light. I know some people nowadays, you know, I'm from old school, I like it dark, but then if you're eating something, maybe you want, you know, a little dim light, or, you know, sometimes people need a dim light in their room. And so this is a good setup to get. A fan with the remote control included that's dimmable. Especially if they have the built-in LEDs in this thing. Technically, those LEDs I think could last like 20, 40 years, whatever. And now with the switch over here on the wall, it's in the on position right now. And what we'll do with that is after we get these walls painted here, we'll put a little protector on there. So when people come in, they just can't hit the switch. If you still want to, there's usually a little doorway on the side you can use to get to it. But that'll keep this in the on position, so when you come in, we'll probably actually have the remote control mounted over there where that switch is at, close to it. So you come in, you can grab this or just hit the button, you know, off, on, you know, turn your lights on, and there you go. And the ceiling, you can see, has been painted a little bit darker paint. It was white, now it's a darker purplish color. And I think the next update video for the home theater project will be after the other walls get painted and before the floor gets done. So I hope you're enjoying some videos. I know I haven't gotten too far on these so far. Stay tuned. And you know, if you have any questions or comments, you know, leave them down below. Not down there, but in the comments section. And thanks for watching. Odd Job Doer, out.